Exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to finish watching a video, but I suppose we're doing this. All right, let's start this. All right. Oh, there we go. Now we're good. Cool. Didn't expect to start it that rough, but okay, it's a Monday, so fits the bill. Cool. So what do we got? What do we got going on here? We've got, well, we did the dialogue modification, so now our characters don't necessarily have to have any, whatchamacallit, voiceovers. They can just kind of go through the dialogues with little bleepsy bloopsy noises. I didn't even set the recording folder correctly, I think, maybe. Alright, well, what should we do now? We've got level stuff. We know that we gotta go through the script. Okay. So the characters get spit out into this space. Let's start traversing up. Escape through here. Okay. This level takes us to Far Island, which is this. Okay. Man. Talk about barren. There's barely anything here. Okay, we'll go through this puzzle. Something I think might be good to modify is we have that cutscene that takes place here, and we discover the suitcase is missing in that cutscene, but it kind of, I feel like that discovery is a little bit shoehorned into it. Maybe it's a better idea to go through this whole part of the level, and then go through this, and then once we get through these challenges, we would get into the clearing, and there we would discover that the suitcase is missing. What is this? Okay, that's where the little bit of the dialogue continues. Got the clearing. This is where we have the characters discover that they lost the signal flares. What do we have happening here? Be able to send the flares from here. So we still have Malcolm. Jesus. This is supposed to say so we'll still have time, but I did the global word replace, so every time we mention the word time, it's gonna say Malcolm. We still have Malcolm. Malcolme. Oh no. Alright, that's fine. Tis what it is. Hey. We be sliding. I feel like we need to speed up the animation. Ah, yes. Okay, we gotta press the down button to slide. Okay. Cool. Cool. Some of this dialogue looks like ass, to be honest. You know what? I think I need to spend a little time thinking about the levels that I would create here. And this isn't exactly a challenge level. Hey, Vishal. Welcome. This isn't the challenge level. This is where atmosphere is built. And I tend to treat these kinds of levels with a bit of a different approach. I'm okay with like streaming challenge level creation, because that's just, well, challenge level creation. But when it comes to like the story stuff, I don't know. Just can't work when it on it while streaming. What can we do? Either either I close down the stream and work on that in private for a little while, or do something else. You know what? Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to work on the script a bit more. And I need to come up with some interesting challenges for the ambient level traversal there. It's kind of one of those cases where there's so much stuff and yet nothing to do. On stream may not be able to focus. There are certain kinds of work that I can do on stream, but it's probably going to be too much pressure to like come up with something. Let's do, I mean, since we already started something, let's do something at least marginally useful. We have this tile here. This is the ground tile. I want to do an experiment where we have a ground tile that's mainly just generally empty space. And then these rock formations, they're actually going to be a separate tile that we can sprinkle in select places instead of having it do what it's doing right now, which is just be everywhere. Maybe we can also do something for the background. Okay. Yes. Now how big is this tile? 64 by 64. Or maybe I just need to get a little bit into the motion of it, and then we can pick out the stuff that needs to be done for the story mode. Hello? I can't seem to sample the color. Oh, right, because the wraparound. Okay, I keep tapping the microphone with the pen. Excuse me. Oh, there we go. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now we're gonna take left, right, and this. Okay, I can't change the wraparound direction there. Okay, this is gonna be fairly unintrusive. Hopefully. That makes it very dreamy. Okay. Let's go save this to assets, tiles, dirt new base. Dang it. Okay. So that's the base layer. What can we do here? I think that's too obvious. Nah. How's Belarus coming along? I am on the lookout for some properties that I could potentially acquire. I mean, considering that on average a property costs about 10,000, that already has something on it. I'd say pretty good. Something that I'm looking forward to is just no longer having to worry about where am I gonna live. It's sure as hell not gonna be in Canada. I refuse to pay these unicorn property prices and property taxes. Are you kidding me? What is it, like $5,000 to $7,000 mortgage, and on top of it, $5,000 to whatever $1,000 property tax? No. You can milk someone else. Alright, Canada? You can go fuck yourself. You can milk someone else. Okay, so this looks like a start. So we're gonna export these things. Oh, we need to export the baseline as well as a PNG file. Not sure why it's taken so long to save stuff. Hold on a sec. No, just 3 hours. Uptime. Oh. Bottom. Left. Right. And then top. Cool. So we're gonna use tile setter to set up the tile. Okay. kind of agree with the argument with the kind of lifestyle these countries provide. USA, Canada, USA. Well, what do you think the kind of lifestyle they provide? Okay, we have dirt new base. Okay. So we'll do blob. Top. Okay. Nice. Okay. Can't help but think that the grass just ends up looking very plasticky. Oops. Okay. Also, these harsh edges are not the greatest. Do we have the ability to specify? I guess composite, and then there's no corner that we can mention here. All right, well, that's unfortunate. Do we have a debug tile, which is meant to help us easily set up bit masking? Doesn't look like it. We have that one, but that's not really... Yeah, that's not really the one that we can use for debugging. Okay, let's set up a debug tile. And this is going to be gray. And then we're going to take the top. Let's see, 32. So let's do 16 pixels so we can see the in-betweens. Take this, fill it with orange, and that is technically all that I need. So I'm gonna extract this. Man, I don't know what's happening with Windows, but it's every time I open the file explorer, it's like taking forever. Okay, do I have a debug tile? No. E. Like, I have to press reload for it to update. It's not even here. What happened to E? New folder. It went into the new folder. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, debug tile. And then we'll take this. I'm gonna save this. Don't update to Windows 11. Yeah, I know it's a worse experience. That's why I think Windows 10 is gonna be the last Windows I use. I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna be switching to Linux after this. Okay. So I'm gonna quickly set up the debug tile. Okay, build borders. And I'm going to import this guy. And I'm just going to use it. Whoops. Use it to build out all of the sides. And we'll use this tile to define our bit masking. Export image. Engine. Tile sprites. Debug tile. Wrong. Welcome back. Okay. So we'll do export image here as well. New dirt. All right. We should convert this to tile map layers. Get rid of this. All right. Tile set new mountain tile. Interesting. Okay, so this is a terrain. Let's call it Dirt 2. We're going to paint this terrain data. Okay, select all the tiles that participate in this terrain. And then, well then, I mean, technically we can kind of tell what's what here. But if we really need to be dead serious and dead simple and dead straightforward, we're going to load the debug tile. Would you like to automatically create tiles? No. Okay, and then we go paint. And now you can see we can very clearly tell where these paint markers are supposed to go. I kind of wish you could just save the this bitmask data and load it into another tile or copy paste it. We have a picker here, but then again, what good is that? Maybe we can make a plugin or addition to the Eisenstadt Tools plugin. Cool. All right. So now we'll go back here. Quick load. New dirt. No. Yep. So that's there. This also drives me insane. Like, why can't we swap out the full tile? Why does it not recognize the other surfaces? Okay. Now this looks... What does this look like? This looks more cartoony. Like more appealing, to be honest. This one here appears to be a bit more depressing. Too pale, maybe even. We did learn a little bit from it. Okay, so that is the base tile. Now, the whole point is that on top of this tile, we're supposed to be able to paint better, in your opinion. Yeah, notwithstanding the corners, but it just looks more. It looks easier on the eye because it's not as contrasted as this one. This one has really high contrast detailing, which tends to make it just very, very busy. Raven, good day. Okay, so that works. And the funny thing is, I could just swap this out, swap out the texture, because you see they're using the same exact layout. Okay, anyways, so we have this. We know that this is the base color. Now for the detailing, maybe we can go larger. Maybe we could go 128. So let me copy this. I'm going to make 128 by 128. And once again, if we're doing cracks, I don't want them to be too much darker. Otherwise, we're going to run into the same exact problem. Let's do the following. I actually started using this color selector more because it makes the best use of all the available space. The circle is cool, but all this gray space is just, you know, it could have been precision selection for your color. So I started using this a lot more. So then we do slightly darker. And we need to create maybe like a rock pattern. Man, I still catch myself thinking that what am I gonna lose if I move out of the Canada? The problem is that it's a fantastic country to live in from what I remember from my childhood memories. It was just very prospectful. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I mean, I know partially what happened, but it's I don't want to falsely assume that I'm actually going to be losing too much because I'm running on the fond childhood memories from like early 2000s. Unfortunately, that Canada is dead. And it's not coming back. The good news is that Location-wise, it doesn't really matter where I live, because, again, my needs are fairly small. I need just a small property, small house, and yeah, as long as there's a reasonably close pond for fishing, for recreation, pond, lake, whatever, and I don't have to worry about, you know, making the multi-$1,000 land property taxes, figuring out, you know, am I not gonna be able to afford the freaking land? Right now I still live in Canada, so we're in the front and center of the country being dismantled. So yeah, I mean, realistically, I don't need a lot. I don't want a lot. I don't need a fancy apartment. I don't even need to be really close to civilization. Okay, this looks like a pretty good pattern. I don't know if I should do highlights. This might be kind of unnecessary. Okay, so this only needs to be, whoops, okay, what's happening? There we go. That's all that we really need. Now, I'm gonna save this first by itself. I think it's universal. The way you feel about the country, the air have been brought up. It was the best, no matter where you were at the time. I think it's more about the time. Is it though? I distinctly remember a carton of eggs being like $3. I distinctly remember rent for a 2-bedroom apartment being $1,000. I distinctly remember things just being affordable and people investing into, you know, public projects and interesting events. You know, now the most interesting event in Canada is the Pride Parade. Oh, woo, great. Okay, 512, 512. Let's set up the grid. Grid and guide. Uh, 128, 128. There's a lot of negativity in the news and social networks because that's what makes money. That is true. Following my my phone drowning in Lake Ontario, I actually haven't been on social media just at all whatsoever, which has been tremendously helpful with focusing on the few little things that I need to focus on. But the bad news is still there. It didn't go away. I'm just not exposed to it as often. It's still there. Okay. Well, we had an interesting turn right there already. Let's go here. Dirt details. So this is a file layer. I'm going to get rid of this. Oh, can I get rid of... No, it's locked. Okay. The uptick in homeschooling has been a good sign of just people not following the trends that somebody's trying to set. The funniest thing is that people who are homeschooling their kids are finding the curriculum to be laughable. Like, once you actually know what your kids are being taught. I've seen a video of a mother doing subtraction using column tables. Very simple approach that even I remember. And then I see she's showing her kid doing math, how they were taught to do it, and it actually seems like the methodology has regressed because the kid was counting on fingers and then using little lines and streaks to keep track of the numbers. So is it being reinvented for the sake of being reinvented? Or what? Like, it actually feels like the curriculum is dumbified to the point where it's laughable, man. Like, I look at that and I think this does not look like a good place to raise children, to raise a family. Okay, I'm going to set it to 64 so we can see the in-betweens. And we're going to do a mask. Oh, looks like we're missing a row of pixels at the bottom here. Okay, so now that we've done that, flip it, make it inherit, and then this is dirt details auto tile. Nice. And then what we're gonna do, apparently we're gonna wait for this thing to save. There we go. And then disable the background. Huh. Okay. So this means we can't actually use alpha inherit. We're gonna have to do it this way. This is going to be white. We're going to add... No, we're gonna take this, put it above, and this white channel is gonna be converted to a transparency mask. So I'm going to fill the black, and then we're going to right click, convert transparency mask, and there we go. And then we disable that, and now we got what we're looking for. Okay, so let's get this exported. This will be engine, tile sprites. New dirt details. Okay. Now we're gonna add, whoops. Oh, okay. We're gonna add a tile map layer. This is gonna be a 128 tile, so we have to actually make a new one. New tile set. Drop this in. Yes. This is gonna have a terrain set, and it's gonna use corner matching only. Paint, terrain set, terrain details. And then we just need to paint in the corners, not the centers. Nice. For some reason my external hard drive keeps disconnecting and reconnecting. Okay, that looks good. Except maybe we'll just use a different color for visuals. Alright, so go tile map, terrains. So that right there is what I was thinking. The funny thing is you can't even tell the little graphical bugs in the middle. Okay, now that looks pretty good. It seems a little large. Maybe. Are you using any backup server as well? GitHub for backing up the projects. But I am looking to build out like an actual backup server with lots of hard drives. It's probably not going to be a rack mount. It's probably going to be a desktop case that happens to have a lot of hard drive slots in it. Okay, so this is dirt cracks, and let's try adding another one. Tile map layer, stones. So we're gonna quick load. We have a terrain tile set. 64 background tiles, compound B. We have one with rocks, this one. Except those rocks look a little weird. Okay, so like these, random. Interesting. I feel like the blue is taken over a bit too much. Yeah, so that's too high contrast. That's not good. But we could, hypothetically, open up that cliff rock. 128 stones. That's not the one. Yeah, cliff rocks. We can do this, and we can shift the hue of it towards the warmer spectrum. Okay, this will make them brighter. That could work. If only it was a little brighter. Okay, I guess like if I'm duplicating it, I might as well just duplicate everything. Okay. Cliff rocks warm. When did I export that? Engine. Good. Okay. What the? Okay. So it being the same color, that actually works. It being brighter, that seems to work. If it's too strong, we could tone it down. But for the most part, yeah. See, that's why we knew painting, it's a good idea to make them a little bit brighter. Because then if you need to adjust it, just do it right here. That's perfect. Could do a bit of a logical distribution here, so the rocks would be in between these cracks. Although again, the camera is going to be right up here, so we won't be able to see too much. What if we were to add a shadow? I don't know how well this is gonna work, but let's see. Okay. As long as the rocks, the shadows don't bleed into the neighboring tile, I think this should work. You okay? Did I not confirm? I did not confirm. Okay. It made them pop a little bit. Just a touch less. Oh. Export. Played any of the Legend of the Zelda games? I have not. I find it a little bit difficult to get into Nintendo games if I haven't grown up with them, and I haven't. The first console I ever owned was an Xbox 360 that I managed to save up for with my first job, so yeah. If the Nintendo isn't present in your childhood, the Nintendo bug, in my personal experience, doesn't really bite us as viciously. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Maybe if we could get like one more layer. Oh, well. Right. Okay. Okay, there we go. I gotta say, this highlighting looks exceptionally lazy. It's not very good. Legend of Zelda played on the phone with an emulator. Well, which Legend of Zelda? Okay, so let's get the warm. Hey, Steven. Didn't notice your comment. Welcome. Ocarina of Time, Link to the Past, Link between past. All awesome games. Interesting. I mean, it's nice that you enjoy it, but just looking at those games, they don't seem like something I'd be interested in. Okay, did it get updated, or did we forget to confirm? Okay, there we go. Now that's looking a little bit better. So limiting it to only one color or two colors is making it look a bit too flat. Now, can we do something about this? Maybe cheap little highlight. Technically, so it'll have to be right here. Okay. Sure. Hey, that works. It's got a little dimension to it. Now, what if it does have a fill? Like this, and it's a solid color fill. Let's take a look at that. Okay. That technically works. I think we can make it work a little bit better as a protruded tile. I think so. I think that could work. So to do that, we need to give it a shadow or some sort of a fade. Now, how can we achieve that? we could achieve it by duplicating this and then merging it. Then Control U, making it black. And then the different kinds of shadow have to have either external or internal shadow placement. So that will depend heavily on these shapes. So we're going to cut them out. Okay, this, cut it out. Oh, right here. Paste it in, and I'm also gonna, since I'm here, I'm going to put it into a group, and I'm gonna use the selection we already have as a transparency mask. Okay. So now, I think I also need to do this right here. I need to make this selection. I'm gonna then add to this selection the inside. Dang it. It selected the neighboring tile. We don't want that. Disable, once again, select, add to the selection, and then I'm going to put this in the group and then add the transparency mask on the group. Okay, now what does that give us? That gives us 3 distinct zones that we can apply the outer glow with a bit of noise, which is going to simulate a bit of shading. Outer glow, we're going to do normal. Pick the color to be black. And then introduce noise. Yes. That right there seems good. Give slightly more size. Slightly more opacity. Okay, now that's good. I'm gonna copy this layer style. We're going to apply it not on the group, but on the shape itself, because that's gonna make it only be applied on the inside, and we don't have any of the effect on the outside. That's the mask doing the limiting. And then same thing here. Paste. It only does it on the inside. And now, if I re-enable the top, we got our tile and the little shading effect. Okay. New dirt details PNG, so I'm gonna save it. Where's the confirmation? Here we go. Okay. I mean, that should have popped up. There we go. Okay. Now that... maybe a little too strong. But it's also not exactly the effect I was hoping. Let's try the reverse. Even though I was thinking this would work. Let's do inner glow. Normal. Or multiply, I guess that works as well. Noise, size. Actually, no. This probably has to be normal. I don't see the effect. Oh, right. I don't see the effect because it's underneath it. Right. Okay, so bring that out. Which we'll have to inverse the colors then, and then set it to multiply. There we go. Copy layer style. Paste layer style. Oh yeah, and there's going to be an issue with this one. Because it's not supposed to be applying it over these sides. Okay, and then this guy, same issue. Right. Okay, well, looks like we'll have to limit it. Okay, that makes it apply only on the inside here. Then we have the second one. This one's gonna have to be manually painted over. Transparency mask. Just reset the colors. Yes, this is fine. There we go. All right. Oh, dang it. Let's try that again. Override. So this should make it, instead of protruding, it should be an intruding effect. Like the crust falling off. Like that. Which could work. Again, it might seem a little strong. I find open world games like GTA Red Dead Redemption very difficult to play. More of a story hungry horror kind of player. Yeah, I'm as guilty of making a lot of my games open world games, but I feel like the open world is just, well, the whole open world genre is just being used as a poor excuse to extend playtime. Okay, this, as interesting as it looks, it's not quite what I was thinking. Unless we could do something here. Blurring the edge? Possibly. Okay, I don't have a lot of hopes for this, but let's just see. So right now it's darker. We'll see what happens when it's lighter. That looks like certified ass. Maybe we'll just do this, no highlight. Hello? Update. There we go. Let's go over here. The giraffe skin. Well, basically. Maybe that's what we're trying to do. Maybe. If the backdrop matches. Okay, there's going to be a very weird thing, but this is the backing, and this is the base color. We're going to make the base color be the cracks so that it blends with the auto tile. The background auto tile. I sure hope whatever I just overrode was the actual thing I was supposed to overwrite. Is this too bright? Okay. Yeah, that doesn't seem to match. Okay, let me sample this. Fill this, which apparently that seems to be the same exact color. Okay. Let's reduce the complexity. Oh, you know what? It's, right. It's the edges. This stuff. Maybe what we're trying to achieve is just a different pattern. Maybe we should go the brighter brown for the cracks and then the darker brown for the insides, just to break apart the obvious pattern. Let's see. So lighter brown, which is already what it is. Yes. Well, clearly, oh, wait, clearly this is too bright. But that's because it's in a light source that ceases to exist when I zoom too close, apparently. Okay. How did this come to be? Okay, so we have this color. This color, yes. Uh-huh. Maybe we just deviated way too much. Hmm. That's more like it. Okay. Now what happens when we introduce just a tiny bit of shading? So tiny it's practically imperceptible. Might as well not even be there. Okay. That's more like it. Interesting. So it's really just a flip of the colors. Well, that's all we did. The darker color became the in-between, and the lighter backdrop became the stone itself. Alright. That's looking better. Yeah. I think it's the matter of minimizing the amount of contrast. The difference has to be very minimal, if any, at all. Looks good. Well, can't wait for 3 months from now when we redesign the whole tile again. The grass doesn't look too great, though. This looks like plastic. It looks like a melted candle. That's what this design looks like. Hmm. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe now it's too detailed. It's not too bad. Good work. Maybe our mistake is to go brighter. Maybe it needs to... Well, our mistake. My mistake. Maybe we need to make it go darker. $128 but 128 HD Minecraft pack. Hey, Zoltan. How's everything doing this jolly day? Well, I started thinking that... I started the stream thinking I'm gonna do some core components. But the more I look at the way the script right now is progressing, the less I'm confident that I should commit to doing that. Because if I do that, then it's set in stone. Go for it. No, I don't think I can. It's like the script has some scenes or some dialogues that it doesn't need to have. You can throw them out and it won't really change the progression of the script. So if I make any content in relation to the script, then, you know, hey, that could work. So maybe that's my issue. I'm making it brighter when I should be making it darker. Maybe that was my issue all along. Something else I've discovered that I'm gonna have to do is, from the looks of it, I think for this project I'm gonna have to do the sound effects by myself, because I have not had luck finding anybody who cares enough about this project to commit for more than like a month. I've had a couple of dudes that work as a team make like 10 sounds, and then they're like, we have a paid project that takes up a lot of our time, so we can't really put a lot of work into this. And then that's been for like 4 months, 5 months, with nothing being done. Like, I don't expect a lot, like a couple of sounds, I don't know, maybe every couple of weeks, so we slowly chip away at it. That's not a lot to ask, considering I know how much work goes into making sound effects, since I've been doing that before I even got into game dev. But then those two dudes, you know, 6 months later, said, well, we can't work on the project anymore. Okay, fair enough. That's, you know, you gotta prioritize paid jobs. The guy I was talking to had volunteered to find some replacement. We did find I guess he posted a video of the project, and there were some responses of people who wanted to work on the project. It's not about voiceovers, it's about sound effects, like explosions and mechanical stuff. So he found somebody who would be like a replacement. And, you know, we talked for a little bit. I could kind of feel that there was no chemistry. Like, it was just half a conversation was kind of awkward, and I figured, okay, well, you know, chemistry, no chemistry, let's see if this works. Started the project, or I brought him up to speed, showed him what needs to be done. half a month or almost a month, like three quarters of a month pass. Nothing's done, and then when I post some additional material that could be used for making sound effects, is like, I can't work on this project. I have a paid gig that came up, which I've heard that excuse enough times to know that pretty much on 100% that's the I don't want to work on this project anymore. Instead of just saying that, you say, I have a paid project that came up. Yeah, so do I. There's plenty of like paid commissions that I work on, and when I say I'm gonna help somebody get something done for their game, I actually commit to it and get it done, knowing the outcome. I don't join the project and then try to weasel out of it. So that to me just kind of screams, your project, I don't want to work on your project, even though I don't understand it. You saw what the project is. You saw the videos. You saw the material. You say yes in the beginning, and then I've been looking for this export folder for like this entire conversation. Where is it? Tile sprites. I'm trying to import. Jesus. Yeah, like for my entire indie dev career, this has been a dead giveaway that somebody it doesn't want to work on a project. They never say they don't want to work on a project. They just slowly taper off, and I don't know what they're expecting. They're expecting the dynamics to change or something, but they never say, I don't want to work on a project anymore. They say, I have a paid gig that came out. That's the equivalent. As soon as they say that, at this point, I'm just like, okay, whatever, And the thing is that all of like 10 sounds were made for this game entirely. 10 sounds. Rev share or not, I'm gonna replace those 10 sounds. Like 10 sounds isn't worth me dealing with revenue share. And the contract stipulates that if you drop out of the project, the sounds, whoever's gonna have to do the sounds, will have the revenue share split in proportion to how many sounds they had to do. And if I have to do 100% of the sounds, I'll take 100% of the share. Don't join a project and then weasel out of it. Just makes me angry. What are we looking for? We're looking for tiles. I'm trying to load this top tile. Cole Harmon has been absolutely phenomenal on the Dreadtail project. He's done a pretty heavy chunk of the work. Antoine has done a lot of models. Dimitar has done a lot of models. Like, they've done the kind of work that cannot be replaced. It's too much work to replace. So it makes sense to commit to those guys and stick with them to get this project to the end, right? But too many times I've been a part of the project that I've just seen people slowly, surrogate themselves off. Where's the top? God damn it. There we go. Does this have the shadow in it? It does not look like it. Oh, it's because I didn't confirm it. Great. So, yeah, that's what it looks like. Unfortunately, that's the sad reality of having indie projects that are, self-time funded. You're basically trying to convince people to believe in your project and believe that it's going to be, if it's a revenue share, that it's going to be financially redemptive. But on playing devil's advocate, when you look at this project from surface level as an outsider, it's like, oh, it's just another platformer. What are the chances this is going to be successful? So you can't really blame them for dipping, but it doesn't excuse the manner in which you quit the project. You don't quit, you just let it die, right? And that's something that resonates with what I've heard GDC project managers talk about. Managing a project, which is like managing other people, is as much work as actually working on the project. So Cole Harmon has been fantastic to work with as a sound engineer, because I didn't find him. He found me. Not me specifically, he found my project. I posted it on Twitter. I posted what the project was, and Cole had joined the project because he thought it was worth his time. So as of this point, if I'm going to be finding somebody who can do sound effects and who isn't going to just slowly disappear like a Thanos snap, it should probably be me posting a project, having it sit and be exposed and be available to be viewed, and then whoever thinks this project is worth joining, they're going to join. Because that's how I came across Dimitar, that's how I came across Cole Harmon, and that's how I came across Antoine. And all three of these folks have been like valuable parts of the project. Don't look for talent. Make your project attract talent. Which is it's kind of a cold, hard, unfortunate state of events if you're, you know, in the industry of 3D modeling and sound effects. It's like, oh, you know, look at somebody who's too big for their bridges, huh, Mr. Developer? But you know what? I've wasted way too much time on people who just deliver like a sliver of what of the work. Like it will take me a couple of hours to replace the sound effects that those initial guys have done. Okay, so we have the tiles set up here. This looks interesting, but it looks very deserty. Okay, I also forgot to cut off this video at a 1 hour mark, so... Oh. Interesting. Okay. Funny thing is, this kind of works. Okay, so we got the physics layer. We need to paint the physics data. Okay. Right. So this isn't too bad actually for dialogue delivery. Now that I'm starting to get warmed up to it. It's okay. We're working within the limitations. Cool. All right. Why don't I take this moment to take a break? What are we looking for time? You'll probably just wrap it up here. I need to work on the script more, which is something I'd have to do offline. Okay. Cool. Let's wrap it here. We did discover how we should handle some of the detailing and breaking apart the monotony of tiles. Just have to use similar colors, maybe flip them. But that should be more or less it. Cool. All right. Thanks for watching. Appreciate the company. We'll continue in the next one.